As I slip down the slide straight for an ice-cold pool of water, I cannot imagine what happens next. Throughout my life, I have received many scars. From being bit by dogs to sticks flying at my leg, I have received them in the strangest of ways. Scars, to me, are what show the rest of the world your life story, what you have been through to get where you are, and what you are capable of. If someone looked at me, they would think I had just been through a war because I have scars all over my body. They would call me a weakling because of them, but to me they symbolize my personal strength. As I continue my journey down that slide into the pool, I have no idea what is about to happen. It all started one summer day when my friend Chrissy and I decided to take a dip in the pool. The thing that is most interesting about this story is that I had never before in my life encountered a pool slide, which is probably part of the problem to begin with. When I finally got up the courage to try it out and got to the top of the stairs, of course, I had to hesitate for the longest time before I just threw my entire body onto the slide. The feeling of flying downhill so fast was exhilarating and yet scary at the same time. When I flew off the slide, it felt like I was in midair for hours, just hanging there until at last I dropped down into the water. When I did, I realized that the dog had jumped towards me, but yet just a little ahead of me, enough so that we crossed paths at the exact right moment for her tooth to clip my forehead. To be honest, when she created the gaping wound in my head, I hadn't even felt it, but the moment I realized something was wrong was when I came up from the water and Christy had started to scream because of the blood running everywhere. Precious, as the dog was called, felt really bad for what she had done, and I knew this because she was crying at my feet. Since I could not see the wound, of course, I was really not freaking out until I opened my eyes and saw where I had just been standing in the pool. This is when I started to cry. As Barb, Chrissy's mom, held a towel to my head, I could feel her hands shaking as she tried desperately to call my mom. As I heard the roar of the engine, I knew my mom had arrived, and I stood up scared to death that I would have to get stitches. Furthermore, when we arrived at St. Joseph Hospital, I was checked in within minutes and was called back for an evaluation. Another ironic point is that the doctor that was assigned to me at the hospital was also named Cassidy. As he looked at my forehead, I grew even more eager with every twitch and change of his facial expression, and then finally the verdict. Stitches. When I heard this word, I started to bawl even harder than I already was. After this point, all I remember is seeing a surgical paper placed over my head and the sound of snipping as he completed the 11 stitches needed to sew my head back together. In conclusion, I have seen my fair share of accidents resulting in serious injuries, especially ones that are facial related. Scars. They are what make you the person you are, and they create my self-image, and that is why I so strongly believe in them.